What's up, guys? I'm Mike D'Antonio, founder and CEO of StockedUp. Welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have an amazing episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the most important trading lessons we've learned. We genuinely believe that if you guys can avoid the lessons that we're about to share in this video, it can totally change your trading game around and, for the better. So before we even start this episode, I just want to give a huge thank you to every single person who liked the previous episode. We were trying to crack 100 likes, right? We cracked over 250 likes in less than 24 hours. So I just want to give a shout out. Thank you so much to everyone who hit that like button on the previous episode, and we'd really appreciate it if you guys like this episode too. So we have a ton of great lessons to talk about in this video. Tom and I got together. We spent a good amount of time just having a conversation about, what are the hardest lessons we've learned? What are the biggest takeaways that we learned throughout our trading career? So we put like a nice little summary for you guys in this video. So with that being said, Tom, do you want to talk about, some of the, first of all, just the top general trading lessons you've learned in the market?
Yeah, my top trading lessons are pretty much don't over leverage and to take smaller positions, because that's always been what's killed me in the past. I've always had a knack of overtaking positions to where I would maybe start out with like a $5,000 position and then turn it into a $10,000, then a $15,000 position, and then it comes crashing down on you eventually. And it's just being pretty smart with your money. You can't over leverage too much, and you just can't put too much money into one single position, because that will end up biting you that one time that position goes wrong.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So like, let's say you have like $10,000 in your account, and let's say you're going to play one trade a day per week. So a total of 5 trades, right, for the week. Don't just put $10,000 in that one position. Like, I know it sounds kind of like common sense, but, don't even put like 5,000. Like, you should, maybe put like 1,000 or less in each position. Like, don't over leverage. It can really hurt you in the long term. And, it's just kind of the dumb luck of it, because you could win 3 trades in a row and think you're on a hot streak, but then that next trade you take, it's the one that loses, So that's a great lesson. Tom and I made a pretty good video a while back about like the exact biggest losers we ever had. So Tom, if you just want to give like a little brief summary about pretty much what happened.
Yeah, so a while ago in around 2017, I believe it was right on these candles, I believe over here, or it was these. What I did was it looked kind of like this setup here though. So what I did was I saw VXX going up, and what happens is that these leverage ETFs go down over time. But whenever the market's going down and there's volatility coming in and the VIX is going up, VXX is going to fly. And sometimes it flies well over 100%, kind of like it did during this Corona fallout where it flew up over 400%. And pretty much what I did was I got into VXX and I shorted it at like $35. And then I woke up, or actually it was in after hours, and I was actually bowling at the time, which is what makes it even funnier. I was out bowling, and I checked my phone, and VXX flew from 35 up to like $70 a share based off of bad trade war news because of China back in like 2018. And that really killed my account right there, and I ended up losing about 18,000. And it wasn't in 2018. I believe it was earlier than that. But
yeah,
it was a crazy play, and it was just one of those beginner plays where you just shouldn't have even done that in the first place. Obviously, it was way too over leverage, and Mike even told me not to do it, and I just didn't listen to him. So.
Yeah, so it's a funny story. So Tom and I were, still talking at the time he took the trade, and he lost $18,000 in a couple days. And, there's a lot of lessons we learned from that we're going to cover later in this video. So we're going to go more in depth with that pretty soon, but that's just a brief little summary. But for me, I've noticed like I'm like very analytical. I'm very like strategic, and like I'm big with strategies and numbers and formulas and quant stuff and programming. So I'm very analytical, and that actually hurt me. So whenever I would get in a position, whether it be with I don't know, Boeing or whatever, any position, I would overanalyze it. Like I'd check all these different things, and I'd be watching the news 24/7. I'd watch the 1 minute candles, and I watch the 5 minute candles, and I watch the 20 minute candles, and then the hourly candles, and I'll just, overanalyze everything, right? And I would call out the trades right, but what would happen is I would get scared. Like I'd be too emotionally invested in the trade. So if I saw any little downtick, like let's say I was just buying Boeing and I saw any little downtick, I would get scared and sell out. So I've noticed that, get in a good position, get in a great trade, and then just walk away from your screen. Obviously be careful because, your money is at stake. However, like just look at the charts less. Don't just stare at the chart like every single move, because that could really just mess with your brain. So I've learned to just, get in a good trade, trust your gut, and let it play out. And then, trading less. Like I see people in the Discord, first link in the description down below if you want to get free day trades and join our Discord community. I see people in there always saying, oh, what's a play to buy right now? What should I buy right now? What should I day trade right now? Like the more trades you make that does not equal more profits. Oftentimes it's actually the inverse. Like the less you trade, the more you make. I've saw a very, very strong correlation with that on my account. The less I trade, the more I make. So consider that too. But there's a lot of lessons that we're going to go over in the rest of this video. And if you guys really take to heart some of these lessons, these lessons can save you a lot of money. We've learned a lot of hard lessons. Tom lost $18,000 in a couple days. I lost $5,000 in literally 15 minutes on my birthday. I've lost $10,000 in a couple days before. There's a lot of hard lessons that we've learned, and we think you could benefit a lot from this video. So, Tom, do you want to lead us into some of the top ones?
Yeah, definitely. And to me, the top trading aspect is going to be the psychological aspect of trading, and it's the part of trading that traders just never want to talk about, and it's one that's very hard to learn as well, because you just have to learn to stand a middle ground, and you cannot really have a bias one way or the other, even though you want to very badly and you're already in the position. You have to be very careful, because it like you said with your with what you said, Mike, how you'll see like one downtick and then you'll get scared and sell out right away. See, that's a psychological aspect of trading. That's not a problem with like over leveraging or averaging up or having bad risk management. That's just straight up an emotional problem with trading. And traders, you have to really have a very sound and neutral emotional approach to trading. And that's the key thing, is because, for example, like I just had this play, which was X US Steel the other day, and I got into X at around $8 a share, and I ended up getting call options on it, and I ended up selling whenever the stock was at like $9.20 a share. So see, I trusted myself and waited, even though I had a bad red day, after I'd already bought it $8, and it ended up coming back down to like $7.70 about. But you have to trust yourself and trust what trade you're getting in, and understand exactly what you're doing, and have that neutral approach, so that you don't get scared and sell out of that winner, or so that you don't, take that trade even though your bias is up and then the stock is going down and you just want it to turn around.
Right.
That's something you really have to be careful of. And it will happen to you where you'll start to think this, and then it'll be in your subconscious, and you'll be asking yourself, like, should I take this trade? Should I not take this trade? And then, you'll start to talk yourself into taking the trade. And that's really what you don't want to do. If you have to start asking your conscience questions, just don't even take the trade, or just, take your money and get out, or just trust your initial gut instinct. Don't change your stuff based on your emotions or what your subconscious is telling you.
Right, exactly, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, you have to have the courage to hold. I'd say the biggest thing is, like the majority of the work is done before you get in a trade. Like once you get in the trade, it's just a matter of letting the play out. You can't just let your emotions control you. Like Tom said, no one really likes to talk about this, but I would argue that the psychological aspect of trading is the most important part, and just controlling those emotions in a sense of, like, let's say I get in a play, right? Like, let's say like I buy Wells Fargo call options and I want Wells Fargo to go up. I'm not laying in my bed at night praying and hoping Wells Fargo goes up. I can care less because I'm just in like a neutral position. And guys, it's so much easier said than done. But after time, you're just going to get that feeling. You can't get too emotionally connected to trades. I know it sounds a lot easier than it is, trust me. But over
And
time,
what's really unfortunate with it is that it normally takes a huge loss for traders to understand this. And whenever you're a new trader, if you could just take the advice and really take it to heart, it might stop you from having that big loss that will eventually lead you into learning. But if you can just learn and not have the big loss that it takes to actually get there, then you'll actually be on the right path for success.
exactly. And then the next biggest lesson is, guys, trading is not a science. There's no thing that is guaranteed with trading. Like, literally nothing is guaranteed. Nothing. No plays, nothing is guaranteed. And if you guys want something that's like a guaranteed industry, trading's not for you. There's always going to be that uncertainty. There's always going to be that randomness. You never know what's going on in the world right now. Like, you could, like, we could wake up tomorrow and Trump could make an announcement, or there could be, God forbid, like a terrorist, like a terror attack or whatever. Like, there's just always uncertainty. Anything that happens in the world can and will affect the market. So there's always that uncertainty, and you have to expect that. And, sometimes it's going to help you out a lot, and sometimes it's really going to hurt you. Like, you might have a position in Coca-Cola, for example, right? And then the next, like, let's say you buy this on the weekend, right? And then let's say on Saturday, like, we buy this on Friday, and then Saturday the market's closed, but you find out that Coca-Cola wins a, multi-billion-dollar government contract or whatever, and then Coca-Cola shoots up 20% the next day. Sometimes it'll benefit you, sometimes it'll hurt you, but that's just the name of the game.
Yeah, and this even happened to me, guys. Like I was just in 3M. I'm actually still in for the long term. I'm planning on holding this for about 3 to 5 years, unless it hits $250 before then. But I got in right here at around $158, and I had very good gains all the way up to $180. And then the market went against me whenever the coronavirus came out, and it came down to my price, and I pretty much just let it go through, and I ended up I was losing around $4,000 whenever I was down here, and that's a very scary thing to look at. But I trusted the play long term, and I trusted that 3M was going to come back because I really looked at all the technical levels and everything like that, and I really trusted that this stock could not stay down that low for that long. So I just held this, and then I also got into some other positions to also ride this momentum back up in the market. But the thing is that, I ended up holding this position. Now I'm actually gaining on it, and I'm up around $1,500 again. And that's just, it's a very good trading mindset example here, because a lot of people probably would have sold out down here whenever they were losing $3,000 to $4,000 on that play. But you just have to trust the position and hold it, especially if you're getting into long-term plays. This even matters even more, because a lot of times these long-term plays will go against you because these big drops happen, and when they happen quickly. So
Yeah, exactly. There's a saying in the market saying the market takes these stairs up and the elevator down. And we could definitely, you could definitely see that just looking at an overall overall chart of the market. And then another thing is do not over leverage and put too much money in one position. Like, even if we look at like the stat modeling software, right? With all these options picks, no one knows the one that's going to pop 3,000%. No one knows that one. It's always the plays that you don't expect that spike the biggest. Like the Alta play a while back. Like, it might have went from like $250 up to $1,800 in a matter of 3 days. No one knew it was going to jump that much, right? No one knew that. But just keep that in mind. Don't over leverage, because some plays are going to win, some plays are going to lose, and that's just kind of how the market works.
yeah, and that's really how I ended up losing $18,000 on that VXX play, was that, I got in at around $35, and then I just kept leveraging in and leveraging in and leveraging in until, I was leveraged in with like $18,000 and ended up losing 100% on those shorts. And that's really what ended up killing me.
Yeah. Live and learn, right? Live and learn. So another thing we want to talk about is averaging. Averaging is like, let's say you buy, like, Tom, can you go to, like, I don't know, let's say like AT&T maybe.
Yeah.
So we look at AT&T, right? There's two different types of averaging. There's averaging up and there's averaging down. Now, for simplicity's sake, like, let's say you buy AT&T at like $31, right? And, let's say it goes up to $32. If you plan on holding this long term, then, like, yeah, it'd be smart to average up. But really what I'm trying to get at is you have to be very careful with averaging. You could average up or you could average down, but generally you do not want to average down. Generally, you do not want to add to a losing position unless you plan on holding it for the long term. Like, for example, let's say you buy AT&T at $31, and then with this whole Corona situation, it goes all the way down to 27. That's when you'd want to average down, right? But if you're playing like an options play and you're down 25%, you're not going to want to average down because that's like a short-term trade most likely. Or even with day trades, you don't want to average down on that. However, let's say you have a short-term options play or a short-term stock play or whatever, averaging up can be a good strategy. That could be a very good strategy to intensify your profits. So keep that in mind. Averaging up is generally good for the short term, and averaging down is generally good for the long term, but you have to be very careful with averaging down, especially on short-term trades. So hopefully that helps you guys. And then another thing is, more plays do not equal more profits. I see people in the Discord all day long saying, what should I buy right now? What option should I trade right now? What should I day trade right now? What should I sell right now? Should I buy or sell this, right? Guys, more plays do not equal more profits. Oftentimes, it's the exact opposite. Over trading is probably aside from the psychological aspect and mistakes with trading, I would say just over trading is the second biggest mistake. Everyone wants to make a trade now, and what ends up happening is they go in with no plan. They go in and the stock makes a little move, and then they get scared and they sell out or make just different mistakes. So try not to overtrade. Personally, I make 1 to 2 trades a day maximum. I make 1 to 2 trades per day. I do the stat modeling trades, which is the link in the description down below. If you guys want to trade the same options Tom and I trade, you can click the link in the description down below for the options alerts. I trade that play, and I trade the day trades, that are free in the Discord, which is the first link in the description down below. I trade those. That's it. There's other plays that come out, but I do just fine trading what I do, and there's no need to trade every single play. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Try not to overtrade, and kind of just like recovering the lesson from earlier about, Tom, if you want to talk about how people like overanalyze certain stocks, ones that they're in.
Yeah, I think that's really funny whenever the people are asking in Discord. They're like, hey, what's a good play for the end of the day? Like, like the last hour of trading. Yeah. And, I'm like, guys, I think that's the time to, maybe settle down for tomorrow.
Right.
It's just don't overtrade. I see it all the time, man. Like every day in Discord, people are asking about it. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a mistake that can easily be avoided. But we used to make those mistakes too. Like I remember a couple years ago, like I would be like that. So we've all been there. We've all had to go through those lessons. But the purpose of this video is to just help you guys avoid some of the hardest lessons that Tom and I had to learn the hard way. Losing 18 grand in a couple days, not fun. Losing 5 grand on your birthday in 15 minutes, not fun. Or it's just we just want to spare you guys this. So don't over analyze certain positions you're in too, is the last major lesson. Like let's say you get in let's say you get in a JP Morgan call option, right? And let's say you get in and the JP Morgan's at 111, and let's say it drops to $110.70. Like you can't just watch it so close like that. Like you have to like trust your gut and let it play out. Trust the reason why you got in the trade in the first place. So keep that in
Yeah, but
mind.
keep in mind that if it does fall like that, though, if it does fall down like to 1070, just keep in mind that then all you have to do then is just, I know it's going to be a little bit of a loss, like especially on the option, like it might go down, 15 to 20%. But the thing is keep in mind that whenever you're going for the winners on the options, like if you have the move from 111 then up to 116, you're going to have like a 80% move up, and then this is only like a 20% move down. So don't even worry about that too much, because it's not even very relevant compared to the money that you have in the market.
Right, right. So then now, so Tom, do you have any last minute things with the lessons? Because if not, we're going to get into the FAQs.
Okay, yeah, let's get into it.
All right, so now we're going to answer you guys' questions from the previous episode. And we have Joe talking about jets. He just brought up jets for the airlines. So jets, the stock,
Oh, that's
JETS.
never
Airlines
heard of
have
this one.
done amazing this week. What's jets up today, Tom?
Ooh, they were up only 4%, but in after hours yesterday. Oh, let me get to my correct drawing tool here. In after hours yesterday, they were up. If it'll let me click, up 17%. So
Yeah. So that's huge. So can you go to a daily real quick? So, we could see that there's just a huge move up from the airline industry this week, mainly because of American Airlines. Delta did good, United did good, Southwest did good. American Airlines, it was like the biggest runner. As you guys can see, like it was up like 40% yesterday. And how much today, Tom, at close?
11%.
11%, so huge mover. So we have JW saying instant like, let's break 100. What's your take on Beyond moving up? It's been sinking. Is it looking like a good time for a breakout? So I don't love this play. It's kind of like in the middle of the channel. I personally would not trade it. I would just wait for like an official. I would just wait for like an official direction.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I personally have never liked Beyond too much. I don't think people are all about the fake meat anymore. I think that was kind of a fad, and I think it's going to kind of eventually fizzle out, I think.
Personally, I think over time that industry is going to grow, but as of like a short-term trade, I wouldn't get in it right now. I personally think there's a decent possibility of that industry exploding. So we have Romeo saying, any thoughts you can share on NIO? I don't do options or puts. It would be helpful if you guys could help us out who do day trades / swing trades and long-term holds. So this is a penny stock. We don't trade these too much, but I would never buy into it at these levels. Like you're literally buying in close to the top. And keep in mind, I also haven't done any research on them as a company, so I don't know anything fundamentally about them.
Yeah, if you were going to trade them, definitely only trade stocks like this on a momentum basis. So like you just want to trade the momentum. Like on these past few days here, this would have been perfect momentum plays where you just play the breakouts in the morning and then ride it up. Those would have been great, but right now you don't want to play it whenever it starts to have downwards momentum.
Yeah. And then we have NU saying, hey guys, just wanted to know how you both utilize Thinkorswim option scanners. So Tom, do you use those?
No, I don't use it too much.
Yeah, so I use them a good amount for a lot of my different strategies, like stat modeling and a couple other ones. I can't share the exact details on them because it's obviously proprietary, but I really just use them for like looking at like the biggest percent gainers and just like, if I'm looking for any specific, set of plays for like the week ahead, I use it, but it's not too much. But I can make a video tutorial to help you out if you want. Morgan said, what is your opinion on TDOC? Has been on a downwards trend this week. Do you think it will continue into next week? I would say so. It looks like they had a pretty good day today. But I would say off the general trend, I would say yes. So then we have Sean saying, took the out of the money Tesla puts that closed today that was mentioned yesterday. Good stuff as always. So awesome stuff. Tesla had let's take a look. Tesla had a red day yesterday, a little bit green today.
Wow, I really think Tesla's setup looks very bullish right now to the upside.
Yeah.
I think definitely we should watch this one for next week.
What are you thinking? Like out of the money calls or like what type of play?
I mean, even if you wanted to go in the money calls, just like 890, if you wanted to make a move from like 890 up to 900 or from 890 up to 910, that would be good. But I think like maybe you could even make a move to where you get in and make a play on this move here and then hold longer. The profits from that move will allow you to hold longer and maybe go up to highs of like 968 or 1,000 again.
Right. And then we have Ronnie saying, loving the content. Wonder if you guys think we'll see a pullback in the coming days. Seeing a lot of activity on SPY puts for July. So, Tom, can you pull up the SPY real quick? I think there's a decent possibility. I'm not like fully convinced, but I would say there's probably like a 50% chance. There's so much momentum in the market right now, especially today. We had the market up close to 800 points at one point. And in terms of unusual options activity for SPY puts on July, that's actually kind of common because a lot of these institutions, they're hedging their positions. So as of right now, I see like a 50% chance. We have kids saying, and then how do I change to the daily, weekly, hourly, or monthly charts on the TD Ameritrade platform? So I'll let Tom show you this.
Yeah, so all you do is you just come right up here to the top right of your screen and you click the daily or whatever time frame it is that you click the time frame setup button right here. And then you'll go down to customize list at the bottom. And then all you have to do then is just click like add time frame. And then you can just select what you want, like an intraday chart. You can do like a 5-day 1 minute. You could do a 5-day 10 minute, a 5-day 1 hour, 15 minute, 30 minute. And then you can change it even to a tick chart if you wanted that or a range. But or you could just go, here's the daily setups to go to up to like 10 years, 20 years. And then you can change it to daily, or you can change it to weekly candles or even monthly candles, which is kind of funny. But monthly candles, I like those too for the long term. I like them for the long term, but let's see. So like, see, it allows you to see really far back. So I can see back to like the fall of 2008 right here. And then you can just see how much the market's really grown since 2008.
Yep, exactly. So then we have Abe saying, happy to be a part of this group, growing so fast, and everyone is a delight. So thank you so much for that comment. We have Chow saying, how far do you think Zoom will drop by next week? It's way too overpriced. So let me take a look at Zoom. I mean, I don't necessarily have like a price target. I don't trade with price targets. I'm not too bearish on Zoom, to be honest. They have a ton of momentum, and they already had a decent fall this week. Can they fall a little bit more? Yes, probably. But I don't think it's going to be like a crazy fall. I think maybe down to like the 190s. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I would say down to 190 or 180 max.
Yeah.
Just for next week, that keep in mind though, I think for the long term, I think Zoom will end up going down more just because I think that they just had too much momentum now and they're just bound to fall because every stock that goes up like this ends up falling eventually a little bit. But it's just something that goes on in the market that doesn't make them a bad company. And they could still go up over the long term. And I do like the momentum right now to the upside. Like you said, Mike, I don't think it's the best play maybe to play this to the downside for next week, especially with how much they've been going up. Like if that continues going up, your puts are just going to be totally worthless. So
Yeah. And then we have Iwu saying SPY is so high for how the current economy is. Do you think Monday's Fed pump would drive it even higher, or will there be a pullback? So there has the market. No, the Feds have been pumping the markets for a long time now. Even though the economy is horrible, the market's going up, and we all know that the market should not be where it's at right now. It should be a lot lower. But we can't fight that momentum. You had the Federal Reserve pumping so much money into this market, and we can't fight that momentum. So they've been pumping the markets for a while now, but I don't think that that'll necessarily make the markets fall on Monday.
yeah, and keep in mind that a lot of these tech stocks have been going up a lot as well. And a lot of them are even hitting new highs, and that could be affecting the market on a bullish trend as well.
Well, big time, because you look at stocks like Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Google, and they really have a big influence on the market overall. So they are definitely playing a huge role in that. Even Microsoft. So we have Dom saying you wanted 100 likes. I logged in this morning to see how many you had. and he thought about a quote from Inception about, we just killed it on the likes. We were trying to hit 100 and we hit over 250 in less than 24 hours. So huge shout out to all you guys who liked yesterday's video. And if you could like today's video again, that would be greatly appreciated. We have Morgan saying, what are your thoughts on TTD? I was able to make money on puts today from it. Do you think it will stay down going into next week? More puts, question mark. Let's take a look. TTD. No, I don't. So TTD has a ton of momentum right now, and you just don't want to fight that. I mean, you see it. What's it up today, Tom? Or no, it's down 1.3. Wait, hold on.
No, it was up 5%.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So up 5%. Had a little bit of a fall yesterday, but you can't. I would never short a stock with this much momentum. I mean, I definitely wouldn't. What do you think?
I mean, there's a lot of room for it to go down, but just wait till you see like a lot of bearish days on it. Don't short it just based off of the one red candle there.
Yeah. And then we have Matthew saying, my only opinion on Nike is the fact of the Apple producing Apple Watches Series 5 as a Nike model. I appreciate your videos. Thanks for the advice. So yes, that could help it, but I would think that that's already priced in. We'll just have to play Nike by ear. It's not really a big mover, but I don't think it should be where it's at right now. So we have Mando saying everyone only talking about AAL, but the other airlines shot up like crazy too. Yep, they definitely did. We have Joel saying, any thoughts on DraftKings pullback? So let's take a look at that.
Ooh. That's a pretty nasty looking pullback right now. In the past few videos, I know that we were talking about this, and I kept saying that I thought they were a little too high. But they did only come back about 10%. I was kind of expecting them to end up having a pullback, back down to like $30 or so. But that might happen over time. So
I like DraftKings for the long term, but I think on a short term basis, I think they're a little bit too overpriced.
Yeah, just wait until the sports come back out, and then they'll be getting a lot of revenue, I believe.
Yeah, true. We have Iwu again saying, now that the market's almost rebounded to pre-corona, which sector do you think hasn't popped off yet and has potential to do so very soon? Honestly, we've seen a huge recovery across the board with everything. I mean, we had the financial sector rebound with like Citigroup and JP Morgan last week. We have the tech sector leading the way. Honestly, I think that I don't see anything specific. What do you see, Tom?
Yeah, like I see everything as pretty much almost came back to what they were at, or if they're not there yet, like in the case of the airlines, they're sure getting close. They're about halfway, if not even more. They're only about 30% off of that high from $30 on American Airlines. I really see these stocks recovering almost too quickly. I think that we will eventually see a pullback in the market eventually with these stocks. And I think that the pullback will come around election time because the elections are going to cause a lot of volatility in the market. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then we have Pastor saying the real MVPs. Shout out to Pastor, always very active in the Discord community and always commenting on YouTube videos. We have Alex saying airlines are really taking off this week. Sorry, had to say it. So, yeah, I mean, definitely. American, yeah, that was definitely the leader. Popped 40% yesterday and then 11% today. But they had a huge run up, and it's not a pump and dump, but I would say that it was more so of like a short squeeze combined with like just like a low supply of shares. They had their entire shares outstanding traded yesterday and today. So we have VJ saying all your predictions and suggestions give very much positive results. Thanks a lot. Any thoughts on the latest IPOs and FDA approval? So thank you so much for that comment. We really appreciate it. Honestly, I haven't been following the IPOs or any approvals too much lately. Tom?
Yeah, the only IPOs I've been following were the DraftKings and then the GAN Gaming IPO. Those are the only ones I was following.
Yeah. And then we have Dat saying, another great video, guys. With the economy opening back up, Jets should be an easy play. I think that they are already up too much. They're kind of following the same suit as the airlines are. So I personally think they're up too much in a too short period of time.
So Jets is an ETF, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's pretty much all it's a bunch of airline stocks put together.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
just like an airline fund, pretty much.
Right. Pretty much. Pretty much. We have Sebastian saying thoughts on NKLA. Looks to be a direct Tesla competitor. They're doing what Tesla does for the sedan, but to 18-wheelers and have a prototype for hydrogen fuel cell / electric truck. More of a long-term hold though. So I don't know too much about them. I've seen a lot of press on them, a lot of YouTube videos. I haven't actually researched them. So maybe honestly, just like my first thoughts, I would say no, but I have not done too much research on them.
Yeah, I honestly really like that play. I really like their price down there at $38. If they could really compete with Tesla and get some electric semi trucks out on the roads, that will be a huge market because look at how much semi trucks are out on the road. That
Yeah.
semi truck game will be huge whenever that comes around.
Well, keep in mind that Tesla's also developing their own semi. Do you hear that?
Yeah, yeah, and they say that it can go. What is that? Like 1,000 miles a charge, or
No, it was a million. Oh,
oh, a
well,
million. Okay,
no,
that's what it was. I knew it was something crazy, but
no, I don't think. Wait, I don't know. It was
it
something
can't be a
crazy.
million. But
No,
I think I did hear they say. I think there's something like they put like a reactor or something in the truck that allows it to do that.
I know that it could go very far, and I know that it's very efficient and it's pretty cool. So I don't know the
Yeah.
exact data, but I know that Tesla definitely released, or they didn't release it, but like they have it like a prototype at the last showcase or whatever. I watched it live, so it's cool. Then we have JW saying, "Thanks for the response. I sold the work call in the morning for 100% profit. Awesome job." We have Marcus saying, hey guys, great couple of days this week. With respect to your momentum plays, when you say buy calls or sell puts, what expiration are you referring to? Would it be the EOM or maybe the closest to expiration? So generally, you want to get the weekly options that are at the money. So then we have Hunter saying, awesome video, crushed that like goal. Absolutely. We have MAS saying, thanks, Mike and Tom. Definitely smashing the like and telling others about your channel. Made 61% profit on MGM after market open.
Oh, nice.
Big time. We have Mike saying, found you guys recently and glad I did. Thanks for all the tips since I'm new to investing. Love to hear that. Then we have Beast saying, I messed up, guys. I played calls on Win and CZR, and it looks like I'm going to lose money. Apparently, I still need to do better on picking stocks that will do well enough to play calls on. Question, what's your thought on BMY, O, and HSY for the long run? Call or put, as usual, keep up the good work. So I really like BMY and HSY. O is a realty income company, and they have good dividends, but personally, I am not too hot. I'm not feeling too good about the real estate companies right now that are publicly traded due to a potential mortgage crisis. And whenever there's like a recession or anything, real estate normally lags behind the overall market. So for that reason, I will not be touching anything to do with real estate for the next probably year and a half. So then we have kids saying, hey, Mike and Tom, boom, boom, boom. My portfolio has doubled since joining your stat modeling subscription, and it's only been 2 weeks. Keep on making us money. Love it. So thank you so much for that comment. If you guys want to trade these same options that Tom and I trade every single day, click the link in the description down below for the stat modeling options. It's the options alerts. We are raising prices on that very, very soon. We have HOI saying, what are your thoughts on Chegg? I'm really bullish on them. So CHGG. Take a look. CHGG.
Oh, GG.
Yep. So I think, honestly, I know what they do, but I haven't done too much research on them, like fundamentally, to see like how they're doing financially. Like I said, I don't really know too much about them fundamentally, so I can't really answer that question too much for you. However, in terms of like a momentum standpoint, they do have a pretty good uptrend. So yeah, We have Brad saying another solid week in the market. Thanks to you guys. Look forward to your posts every day on the insights, news, and plays. You guys are so good. Also appreciate your answering questions and sharing your thoughts. Since the market is up so much, I will probably get some resistance, or it will probably get some resistance or some pullback. Do you have any suggestions for undervalued stocks in essential sectors that are not overpriced but have some room to grow? Focusing on more for swing trade or longing. Seems like a lot of stocks are overpriced right now and eventually resettle. So what do you see, Tom?
Well, the biggest trade that I'm in for the long term right now is 3M. And I think that even with the drop on the coronavirus, they still have a ton of room to grow. You can see that hold on, my chart got messed up. But you can see that they really have a lot of room to grow up to $250. And if the market does recover and they end up recovering, I mean, you can see a nice 35, 50% gain up to the top of 3M again. But keep in mind that, this company is also doing stuff for the coronavirus, and they do a lot of other things as well. So this is definitely a good company to research, and I think they still have a lot of room compared to their highs. But yeah, he's right. A lot of stocks are at their highs right now. It's hard. Like if I just go down my list, like you can, what's that one? Boeing. Oh, well, Boeing. Yeah, we all know about that one. But if we just go down the list, like you can just see a ton of these stocks are still pretty high. But I would say the oil sector would be one that I would look at to, they still have a lot of room to grow back up to their highs. I think a lot of those stocks.
Yeah, I like AbbVie, ABBV. I like Costco. I like Starbucks, and I like Coca-Cola. So
Yeah, KO is another one I really like. They have like 50% potential for 50%. I know it's like about 25. But
yeah, and then we have kids saying, great play, great plays. You look at daily charts. Yeah, we look at daily charts. We have Joe saying, buy, buy, buy. Bought back almost all of my covered puts yesterday except Netflix. I guess the only thing to do now is to buy the market. Awesome stuff. We have Blake saying, new subscriber and new to options, looking to learn the fundamentals of options trading. Any suggestions? So yeah, so there I posted a link on your comment for a free tutorial that I made. And then I also have an intro to options course, link in the description down below that pretty much walks you through everything you need to know. And then we have X saying, let's go. We have Keith saying, hey guys, what do you think about ISBC, HSY, and LUV? So LUV is the airlines. We think it's short-term, overpriced. HSY, good value stock. And then ISBC is, I would not touch that. So then we have Mr. saying $650. Thank you very much from Win, which was a stat modeling play. And then we have Max saying, what's not to like about Stocked Up? Smash the like button, and if you get a chance, do it again. LOL, another profitable day. Looking for more. Absolutely. We have Danielle saying, amazing, guys. Thank you. And then we have Slow saying, hi, guys. As usual, another great video with very valuable content. I have had a very green week once again, thanks to the content and information you guys provide. And the stat modeling and unusual options group. For those who are not members, you should definitely join. The current price is almost a giveaway. It is. I mean, we're definitely going to be raising the prices very soon, as in either a couple days or like a week. We're raising it very soon. And then we have Danielle saying, what do you think on Lucan Coffee? So,
oh boy.
Yeah, just stay away from it. Very scammy. A lot of things going on behind the scenes. You don't want to catch a falling knife. Like, even if it looks like it's coming back up, very, very risky.
Yeah, and just take our advice on this one. This is not the stock you want to trade. There's just about every other stock that you could trade in the market, but this one. So just don't touch it.
This is like the riskiest thing you could touch right now. We have Win saying Roku ? So honestly, what do you think about Roku, Tom?
I really liked it to the downside whenever we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and it did end up playing out like we thought. And I still kind of like them to the downside, but they're a company that I kind of would have expected them to do better right now, comparing them to the other tech stocks.
Yeah. And then, so Tom, did you have any last minute stocks, options, anything for today?
No, I think that covers it. This was a pretty long one.
Oh yeah, long episode, but a lot of great value. So I just want to thank all you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully if you guys could take to heart some of the lessons we went over. We both learned a lot of tough lessons, but it definitely paid off in the long term. So keep in mind, rewatch this video if you have to. But also, guys, keep in mind, if you guys want to trade the same options that Tom and I trade every single day, you could click the link in the description down below for the stocked up options alerts. We are raising the prices on those very, very soon. It's just been doing amazing lately. So if you guys want to jump in on that, feel free. And also, if you guys have questions, let us know in the comments down below. Other than that, thanks for watching.